drawing, I'm trying to show you the way I worked with charcoal. The divisions of the face, you do it kind of quick, considering dividing the face in 3 sections. The first section is from the beginning of the hair with the beginning of the forehead. That's the first little line that you do. Then that goes up to the top of the eyebrows. From the top of the eyebrows to the bottom of the nose. And from the bottom of the nose to the end of the chin. And from the bottom of the nose to the bottom of the chin, you divide that section in half, and you will obtain the lips. And that will be like in the middle of the lips toward the lower lip. When you have a person that it has, for instance, a long nose, you still are gonna do these divisions. And then from those marks that you have done, you will be altering, like the nose, make it a little bit longer. Maybe the lips can be a little bit lower, but you never change the place where the forehead and the beginning of the hair meet. You never change that, and you never change the bottom of the chin. You only are allowed to change the inside, up, down, right, left, but you never change those marks that I told you. Those are main marks, and you have to follow. You have to follow that. When the lips are too big, you do the same thing as the nose. You alter the lips, but never forget about the division that you mark. In here, I'm trying to build the portrait. How? Painting with the charcoal or drawing with the charcoal, making some highlights, and smear them. I redraw, and I might smear again, because I consider that this portrait is like a sculpture. I build the skin by making those darks and lights and smearing them until I get the final that I like, that I'm content, that I'm satisfied. But as you can see, I smear the whole process with my hands. I smear it all and go back and draw it again. Some cases, in this case, I feel like I have the 2 eyes a little bit too separated. So when I smear and I make the new drawing, I just make them closer. And if I have to erase something else, I do. But there is no mistakes in this kind of portrait, because you can erase and you can redraw, and that's the best that you can do. Because by smearing, you erase the drawing. You erase the drawing, so you want to do it again. And every time you do the drawing, it's gonna look better and more real. In here, I have light from the size, both sides of the model. I have light, and that's what I have, those highlights next to the cheeks in both sides. And as you can see, I keep erasing and drawing, because that's the way I feel. The paper gets better, the charcoal in the pores of the sketch pad. Every time I go dark, in the dark, is more fixed. It looks much better. Light and shadow, light and shadow. Remember, every light is followed by shadow. Every shadow is followed by light. At the beginning of a portrait, you never do details. You only mark lines and start doing, like in this case, the hair is very dark, but I don't make the highlights when I'm doing the hair. I do everything dark, and then I do the highlights in the hair that I treat like segments of a tangerine. I don't do hair by hair. That is something that I learned a while ago, but kind of late in my life. And it really works. The hair is supposed to be treated that way. Segments, and you imagine like you have tangerine segments, and you have to squint your eyes to be able to see the shapes of the light and the shapes of the dark, to be able to see the errors that you are making. Because when we start drawing or painting, we don't want to stop. We want to keep on doing because we get so excited. And we want to keep on doing. But the thing is that our eyes get tired, and you need to use different techniques to be able to see and double check if everything is going correctly. One of them is the photograph. With your telephone, you do photographs of the work that you have done, and immediately you are going to realize the errors that you have making that you couldn't see in front of your drawing. The other will be go far away and look at your work from far, and you will be able to see the difference. The third one that I use a lot is the mirror. The mirror is something like magic. You go back, you step back, and then you get the mirror. Turn your back toward your drawing and look through the mirror, the source or the photograph that you have and your work on the sketch pad. And you are going to be jumping to the photograph and to your sketch pad several times. You are going to be detailing one section of your work. Come back, fix it, but only with a couple of lines, and go back with the mirror, because your mind, your brain cannot retain all the errors that you saw when you used the mirror the first time. You need to do that several times. And this is very worth it because it's magic. You see the errors like if you had an instructor next to you telling you what to do and how to do it. The color that I did in here, I didn't like it. I wanted to give to this drawing a more youthful. I want her to look better, and with this, I felt like I was doing an old person or an older person. So I erase and build and erase and build until I decided to get rid of the leaves and make the color very thin, like a pearl color, very thin. I was satisfied with that change, and that's why you see erasing and erasing to see if I liked it better. But at the very end, the result was to take out the leaves, and I was happy with that. The darks and the lights in your work are never right at the beginning. You know why? Because you have to have all the picture ready, all the picture shadowed, to be able to compare one light with another light and see which one is lighter and which one is darker. And the same thing with the shadows. You never do all the shadows the same. The shadows always change. One is the darkest of all, then the dark, then middle tones. There could be many middle tones. It could be the soft, the strong. It could be many. You make them according to what you see. And when you see, remember always to squint your eyes and try to see through only one eye, almost closed. That way, you will be able to discover how the details at the beginning you cannot do, because the end will be erasing everything. Measuring, it is clue in the portraits especially. Measuring is clue. Shadowing is clue. That's why when you paint in color, it doesn't matter the color that you put, but the value is the main thing. I hope you enjoyed this portrait. I'm Rosario Ponte, and I'll probably be doing pretty soon a drawing portrait for you. I hope you learned something and enjoy the way I did, and see you very soon. These are some close-ups that I did so you can see from close more details. Thank you.